Hello, and welcome to another video. So I'm really excited about this. Y'all know I have totally dismantled in my home this idea of the timing of Christmas because we don't actually know. That's not what it's here about. Okay, so this is my holiday meal. I am going to be busy for the season that would be like normal Christmas time, right? So I said, you know what? I'm about to put together this holiday meal so they have no idea that they're going to come home today and baby, they don't have a full spread. And I didn't spend a lot of money to do this because we don't play that, okay? And we don't have that. We won't play that. We won't have it, so we can't play it. We wouldn't play it if we did have it. There you go. We won't play that. So I didn't spend a lot of money. I went to Aldi. And I did go to, what's the bigger grocery store? I went to Kroger because Kroger's produce section and their meat, baby, is just top notch. And I'm willing to pay for it. But they did have some really good deals. And I just want to share this with you because first of all, who said you had to wait till the 25th to make a holiday meal when it's holiday season? Okay, it's been holiday season since what? Thanksgiving. Been holiday season. It's the holiday season. All month long, it'll be holiday season. And I am doing it this way because if you have older children or you just have you have older children, people who are usually outside the home who will be in the home during the holiday time, you know what the best thing for me is to prepare the meals so everyone has a meal to eat off of. And I'm not, girl, on the clock with having to cook. That's really why I chose to do this setup. And I did want to make the family a holiday meal because I never do. You're going to see when I start cooking this food, girl. I wouldn't call myself a cook, okay? I wouldn't call myself a chef. I wouldn't call myself a cook. I would say that I know how to cook. I know what tastes good, but I'm not, I just be making stuff up, okay? So I really had these ideas in my head, and I said, okay, let me make meals out of them. So today I'm going to make some sticky meatballs. You're going to get a chance to see those. I don't know, it just sounded like something good to eat that you could add over rice, that you could add, you could just eat by itself. And then I thought about making something with puff pastry. So you're gonna see me make that. I did a mashed potato bite. And you're also gonna see that I didn't use real, but you're gonna see, girl, it's I like a quick cooking. Remember Homegirl on the Food Network channel way back in the day? I don't know if she still does it. She used to do semi-homemade cooking. That's more of me. I don't actually want to cook a meal that takes all day. Okay, so I was able to go to the grocery store. I'm still able to do other things and cook this whole meal. So I really want to show you how I get it done. Some wings. I made some wings. I want to make some pork bites with the same kind of puff pastry dough. What else do we make? I made some eggnog because for me, it's a holiday favorite. Everybody in my home loves the homemade eggnog. I left out the brandy. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't put no alcohol in it this year. Normally I would, but I really don't want to be leaning to the side this holiday season. So if that's what you want to do, I mean, you do you, but we not doing it. So that's what I'm doing. The food, girls, food smell good. I'm so excited for them to come and see, I cook meals now. You know I be cooking meals. You see me cook. I ain't playing with you. I do cook meals, but girl, a spread is just something I don't do because I like stuff to be done quick. So to make a full spread, to make this spread I'm about to show you, girl, you can't believe it because I can't believe it. But I'm excited to have a meal for my family. And I want to let you know, if you don't have a lot of money, if it's just you and maybe you're a single mom, okay? Maybe it's just you and your honey. Maybe it's just you and, you have one family. You don't have a big family. Maybe it's just you and them. And you want to make a meal. You can do that this holiday season, okay? And you don't have to wait till the 25th, maybe till they mark all the prices up on everything. You got to eat all month long. Why you wait till the 25th? Now that's crazy. Okay, so let's get started without further ado. You won't see me for the rest of this video, but I hope that you enjoy, and let's get to it. So I always take a trip to Aldi when I want to stick to my budget. Aldi doesn't always have everything that I need, or some things I just don't like to get from there because I feel like it's a little different, okay? It don't be tasting, everything doesn't taste good from there. So I did go ahead and go to Kroger as well, just because their meat section is just beautiful. I mean, look at this meat, just beautiful, okay? So as soon as I got home, I went ahead and separated everything according to the recipe. Now I did have some of these items already, like the cinnamon and the nutmeg, so I just went ahead and pulled everything out. I also separated the meat. Now I went ahead and got the really big thing of ground meat. This pork I got from Aldi. It was pretty cheap, as it always is. And I got these chicken wings from Kroger, and I did have the feathers and stuff on it, which I wasn't really feeling, but it was only $10, and actually it wasn't too bad once I started preparing it. Now you can use real bacon, but I went ahead and used bacon bits because it was only for this one dish. I also like to use the ranch packets because it just adds a little extra flavoring without me having to buy like a whole seasoning. So I really like those as well. All of these are just the extras that I'm going to use to jazz up the dishes a bit. Now, you heard me say this already, but I really am a quick cook kind of girl. So I wanted to make cookies. I didn't want to buy the one that was like already frozen. I wanted to be able to add a little extra if I wanted to, like a little nuts or butterscotch or whatever. So I just went ahead and got the mix. That way I can just add a little something to it. And I went ahead also and got these sticks of butter just so I can have the right measurements for the dough. Now I did not end up preparing these, but it's just cheese ravioli. I was going to fry them up and then add a little Parmesan on top, but I had more than enough food for our family. The next thing I have here, which I was very intentional about getting, was very large Tupperware so I can put everything away neatly. I needed a new cookie sheet because I threw my other one away, and I also didn't want to wash a lot of dishes, so I went ahead and got some foil pans and aluminum foil. So let's get started. First things first, I'm going to wash off this meat before I start cooking it. Now I know, looks a little weird. Girl, why you got this meat in the water? Well, it's going to make my cooking time much faster once I put it in the oven. If I put this in the oven the whole way, it'll take a lot longer. So I'm just going to boil it, like boil it, however you want to say it, part of the way. And then I'm going to cook it the rest of the way in the oven. The next thing I want to do is prepare all of my vegetables. So I actually am going to have a little bit left over that I'm going to put in the freezer, but just so I can just sprinkle and go, okay? I use all the same seasonings. I call this bell pepper, onion, all that kind of good stuff. I call it seasoning. So use my little seasoning bowl, mix it all up, and I'm going to add it to each of the dishes. So I didn't have a recipe for this, but I had like a taste for it. And let me tell you that these meatballs were a hit. They were so delicious. So if you want to try them out, you eyeball it like I was eyeballing, okay? Because I didn't have any recipe, and you make it for yourself. Now I'm gonna go ahead and mix this ground meat in this foil pan because I really don't want to wash a bunch of dishes. So that's how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna go ahead and spread it out that way that all of the seasonings, it's just easy for me to incorporate everything if I just spread it all out. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm gonna pour all of my seasonings directly on the meat before mixing it all up. Again, I said I really don't want to wash a bunch of dishes, so I just have my little cutting board back there. I'm going to pile all this meat on and just start making the meatballs. Now, while I'm making the meatballs, I actually, as you can see, I have the sauce going, the little sticky sauce. I'm going to finish these up in the oven, and afterwards you're going to see I'm going to pour the sauce on the already cooked meatballs. None of it's going to go to waste. I have more than enough meatballs made, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in this Ziploc bag. I know, look how big it is. I got this from the 99-cent store, like the largest Ziploc bag I've ever seen. Just going to ball that up, and at some point in time next week, we can use this to make another meal. Take it from me, going to the Dollar Tree to get aluminum foil is just a waste of time, okay? This aluminum foil came from Aldi, and actually I really like it. Like, it's heavy duty enough to where I'm not making a mess. So here's my pork that I made. I'm gonna go ahead and make little slits in it so I can season it further. I did season the water, so at this point the pork does have seasoning to it, like it has a flavor to it, but I didn't do too much because I knew I wanted to season it at this point so that it could all kind of cook inside of the meat as it's baking. So I'm gonna make slits in it. I know you see me pausing, girl, because it was burning my hand, okay? I'm gonna make some slits in it, add just a little seasoning, and I'm gonna add this baby to the oven. I place it in a loaf pan just because I don't want to be cleaning out the oven. That's really what it's for. And I'm going to add a little water to it later on in the cooking process. All right, so next up is eggnog. I absolutely love eggnog. First, I'm going to go ahead and crack 6 eggs. Let me tell you that after I cracked the 6 eggs, I realized that you're actually only supposed to use the egg yolk. You're supposed to separate them. So you're supposed to kind of whip up the egg whites and the egg yolk separately. They have different roles in the whole eggnog. Girl, I was not about to waste 6 eggs, okay? So because I cracked them all together, guess what I went ahead and did? I use them all together. When you make eggnog, you really have to take your time. You have to add everything very slowly. So I went ahead and incorporated the sugar and the eggs together, mixed it all in. Because when it comes time to adding these eggs to the milk, okay, that's the challenging part. Because if you add it when the milk is too hot and you don't continue to stir, you'll literally have scrambled eggs and milk, and that's absolutely disgusting. So when I tell you eggnog is a lot of stirring, Baby, I didn't show you me switching hands, how many times I had to switch hands and how long I had to stir. But just know that it's a lot more stirring than you see me doing here in the video. It's a lot of stirring. And I do not have an electronic mixer, so it's a lot of stirring. And if you want to go ahead and like make stiff peaks with the egg whites, baby, you're going to do even more stirring. So I didn't do that, but this was delicious, and I did not add a lot of sugar. It looks like I added a lot of sugar, but I would say in total I probably added like a cup and a half, and I tasted the eggnog and it definitely wasn't very sweet at all. So you could add more sugar if you'd like. Baby, these meatballs were so good that I actually have to write down a recipe so I can remember how I made these, because they were absolutely delicious. Like I said, I went ahead and poured the grease off of that before I put the sauce on, and then I'm going to put this back in the oven so they can get a bit stickier. So here's the pork. It's almost done cooking. It can probably stand in a bit, a bit longer, like 15-20 more minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put some barbecue sauce, add a little water to it. That way it makes sort of like, a little caramel sauce, like caramelizes. The sauce just gets ooey and gooey and just delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven as well. Now here is the puff pastry dough. This dough came frozen. You find it in the freezer section, and it's usually something that you would keep out in preparation to make the dish. I didn't do that because it was kind of impromptu. So what I did was I put it in this Ziploc bag and I submerged the Ziploc bag in warm water, and it thawed the dough completely, because you cannot use this dough if it's not thawed. Like, it just won't work, because you see how it like unfolds, like it's like a dough. It can't be frozen. So I went ahead and did that. It worked out perfectly, and I'm going to go ahead and use my homemade cookie cutter. Now I do have cookie cutters, but I want it circle, so what the hey, I'm just going to use a circle and cut me out some little shapes. Now the first few I did like this. One of them I actually wrapped up, and then I made a larger one. It really doesn't matter what you use, like what shape you use and how you enclose whatever item you're using into the dough, but this is the way I did it. I did not show you, but I did the same thing with the pork. So the barbecue pork went in the puff pastry dough the same way. So the main reason for me wanting to make the cookie dough, aside from being able to add things, is really so that Kennedy can make the cookies. So I let her help like a lot at this part. I'm not gonna say I'm impatient, but I don't like to wait on girl butter to soften and all that kind of stuff. A baker, it's just not my thing. But I do like I said, being able to kind of personalize the cookie. So I let her do it. Just stir it up. I softened the butter in the microwave because, like I said, I didn't feel like waiting. And these cookies also turned out really nice. I didn't actually follow the recipe, aside from the fact that they say you needed 1 stick of butter, so I listened to them. I put 1 egg like they said. I listened to them. I don't know if it said you needed to add anything else, but this is all I added. And then we put pecans in 1 batch, and they turned out perfectly fine. No, I actually bought these cookie cutters for like cookie dough, but we didn't get to use them, so I let homegirl just cut out little stockings so that I could put the pork inside of the puff pastry dough. And these, my husband absolutely loved these. They were delicious. Here's my favorite. You know I love wings, girl. So I went ahead and just put a little poultry season on the wings, as well as the rest of the ranch packet that I used before. Seasoned those up really good and put them in the air fryer. And here is the finished spread. Girl, these wings, baby, these wings were delicious. The whole thing was delicious. Like I said, it didn't take me very long and the family loved it. And that is most important of all. As always, we have a question, ask a question, and I'll see you in the next video.